and the bear. Oh shit! Shit is exploding. I don't know whether or not you can hear it. You probably can't because I probably have like some kind of noise reduction bullshit in this fucking.
No, I
No,
didn't hear anything, but we are live.
we are
Robot and the
live.
Bear,
Robot
episode
and the
number
bear.
93. Episode number 93.
93 prime
So let's see.
numbers.
Let's see.
No, it's not a prime number.
You have an Evangelion t-shirt.
I do have an Evangelion t-shirt.
Can I one up you?
Yes. Oh, very nice.
Akira t-shirt.
Nice. Classic.
There you go.
That's classic.
You thought you were all badass, and then
No,
you know what I mean.
I'm garbage compared to you, sir.
You mean it's we're just talking about t-shirts here.
We're just talking about t-shirts. We're just talking about t-shirts.
You are garbage if you're gonna
you're
garbage compared to that.
But like at the same time, like Evangelion is a much weebier cut, like it's.
But there's no weebs without Akira. Maybe is that true? Kind of, sort of.
I don't know. I think like Akira came out like a little bit way too early for the big weep thing. like
Gotcha.
Like Akira came out, what was it, in like
89
89
or something? Am I wrong? Is something like that? It's in that area.
88, 89, and
yeah.
Evangelion came out in 93, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that 5 years is like a lifetime in the Weebiverse.
Oh wow, the Weebiverse, new terminology.
I'm looking it up right now. Oh, 95. That's 8 years. Evangelion came out in 95, and Akira movie came out in 88. So that's freaking 7 years. 7 years. That's half a generation, buddy. Half a gen. And the funny thing is that in 2019 at Anime Expo in downtown Los Angeles at the convention center, Sunrise, the animation studio that brought you Gundam and all these other like amazing, science fiction franchises, announced that they were actually going to be redoing Akira, and it was going to be true to the original like 6-volume manga.
Wow.
And for those of you who have watched the movie but haven't read the manga, the events of the movie go all the way up to volume 2, I think, or maybe volume 3, I can't remember. But where and Akira wasn't like a cluster of nerve endings and cells, trapped behind glass and preservation fluid like it was in the movie. It was, an actual boy. And that boy, like goes into fucking shock, creates the cataclysm that the movie ends with. And then it becomes this huge fight between like rival gangs trying to control the ashes that is Neo Tokyo.
When is this going to happen?
Well, that's the problem. It was announced in 2019, and last time I checked, it's been
they
had a pandemic.
The whole pandemic. They had the whole pandemic to work on it.
No one was working during the pandemic.
They were. In Japan? I'm sure they were.
No,
in Japan they're working, dude.
let me. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
They were working in Japan.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to what's going to happen in Japan. Like all those freaking like salarymen and office ladies and like all those people that were like stuck at stay at home during the 3 years that, or maybe even longer, that Japan enforced kind of a stay-at-home thing. Those people are going to live longer. They're going to live to like 110, because all the other people who are being worked to death right now in Japan, they didn't get that luxury. They didn't get that break. But these people, they got that.
You think?
They got those.
They got to. They
one
get
or
to
two.
relax.
They got the sweet 1 or 2 years, and they're just like, oh my god, their bodies are so they were given the opportunity to like
You're saying
rejuvenate.
they got a refreshing.
Yes, they did. They did. That's my prediction. So there's going
I
to be
think.
there's less suicide because of it. You
Do you
know.
think that's going to bring the population down more though?
Oh, the top of the population's already down. Yeah, the
I know,
population.
but more.
Yeah, one
Like
point
like
one. It's like
like
one
that
point
didn't
one
help,
three.
right?
Oh, it didn't help at all. You know, didn't
Yeah,
help
yeah.
at all.
It probably made it worse.
No, you
Like
know, but like that's a
they're
bigger
just like
problem.
they're just like I'm forever alone, and now they're just like everyone's forever alone.
It's a bigger systemic issue going on in Japan, and like I don't know whether or not you remember this, but like many podcasts ago, back probably in the teens or 20s, you know, you made a comment concerning the birth rate in Japan, and I think you said children of the bomb, and I
Oh,
was and I think that there might be some truth in that. We don't really quite know what the
children of the bomb.
with residuals of an atomic cataclysm, like you know,
But then you know,
1945 could have done to those
evidently
people.
Korea's birth rate's even worse. Evidently, like you hear about Japan in the news, but evidently, like the Korea's numbers are actually negative. Like less than one child a family. It's actually worse.
No one cares about the Koreans.
Well, you know, where's the next like boy band gonna come from?
It's gonna come from. It's probably going. Well,
Like Mongolia? It's gonna be like, oh, these Mongolians. There's tons of them.
no, it's like
No.
China's getting ready to fucking like step up to the stage with their fucking sexy cities and fucking crazy electric cars, and soon they're fucking cutting edge you know
Boy bands.
boy bands and girl
Boy
bands.
bands.
Yeah, but the
The boy
problem
bands are gonna.
the problem with the Chinese language is because it's monosyllabic, it's a tonal language. It just isn't going to have the fucking same je ne sais quoi that K-pop or
Je ne
J-pop.
sais quoi,
Quoi,
whatever
yeah.
that
Yeah,
means.
whatever that means. That
Whatever that means, but I think it means that special thing. Isn't that kind of what it means?
I think so. I think
Like is it? What's the meaning of that? Is that kind of what it means? It's something like that, right? It's like that special, that something or whatever. I don't quite know. Isn't that it? Am I wrong?
I don't even know how to.
It's like that something, that special something. Isn't that what it means?
Je ne sais quoi.
I only know what it. I only know what it means as a feeling.
It translates to the I don't know what in English. It's
what?
Yeah, it says je ne sais quoi is a French phrase that translates to I don't know what in English. It's used to describe a special, appealing quality or character that is difficult to define or put into words.
Okay, so I wasn't that far off, but I
No.
still don't really know.
It's that thing
I don't use that word ever.
You don't?
Because I don't really. I don't. No, I don't.
Wow.
Because I don't really. I think that's a new word for me. Like that's something I saw in movies. I think I didn't grow up with that one, so I don't really use it.
I've always kind of felt like it meant something between what I just read and what you just said, and which
I don't
are
really know, but it's crazy.
but there it is. Je ne sais quoi.
All right.
I learned something new. But how was your week, bro? How are you doing?
Oh, so we opened up an art show at Giant Robot. It was the film school. It's called Film School. Oh man, that was one of the busiest openings we've had in a while.
I saw some footage from there.
It was pretty crowded and pretty fun, very fun and very crowded.
Right.
But it was amazing. Just it celebrates cinema, right? So it's like scenes of movies. So in a way it's kind of maybe it's easier on some of the artists because they're not exactly creating that composition, right? That's already created by somebody. It's lit by somebody. And your job is to possibly catch it in your style, So in a way, maybe it's easier on some. So there's, a lot of artists made a lot of pieces and it's a lot of fun.
Did the audience, did collectors, did buyers of art respond to the work?
They showed up. Yes.
Yes. Sales were brisk.
Yeah, I'm eating some Wagyu A5 right now.
Damn.
I'm kidding.
Topping that shit off with some fucking caviar. Bam.
Oh, on the steak? Wow.
On the steak with a little bit of that fucking Salt Bay gold foil on that shit.
Oh, I heard that Salt Bay restaurant closed today.
it's funny because
I don't know anything about it. Like
a month or
I don't even know
so,
where he came from, this person, but okay.
I think he came
Like
from
from Europe, but
somewhere in Europe.
but how did he get popular? Like
He got
social media?
popular because he was doing that salt thing that was, and like,
This thing.
he's, yeah, he was doing this thing, and then he was, he's a good looking man. I can acknowledge the fact that, like, if your thing is, you know, like, I guess somewhat musculary, but not like grossly muscular, and, kind of like dark and, handsomey types, then, I guess he would like have a certain appeal. um
Was he a talented chef?
I remember when he first opened up his restaurants, and I would see the stuff, the food that he was serving, and I just didn't get it at all.
Is it just a steak
It's
and an
the
overpriced
he
one,
he grills
probably?
he
And
grills steak. He then he'll like wrap it in fucking edible gold foil,
no,
which is
that's
just like,
okay.
which is like bullshit.
All right.
And then
Can your
like,
body even digest that?
no, you're gonna literally shit out fucking, tiny tiny little bits of gold that might appear on the surface of your poop. Most likely not. You
Wait, do
know,
people take pictures of their shit with the gold on it?
never
I've
asked.
never seen one.
Has not come up in my social media, but
Okay.
like, it's like, remember, like, there was this
Goldschlager.
yeah, Goldschlager, which had gold flake in there, and
Yeah. Hmm.
and it was this dumb gimmick for a cinnamon flavored fucking like schnapps
Wow.
with gold flake in it. And people, like, were like, gold, oh my god, gold. And it's just like, it's not even enough gold to fucking be worth your while. And I guess it's kind of fun, the idea of like, gold passing through your body, but like, I don't think, drinking down or eating up fucking gold flake like that is really going to do anything for you. So, and he would like, the steaks, I think the steak, the gold foiled steak, was like $1,000 or some
Oh
bullshit like
wow.
that. And
Wow.
it's just ridiculous. And I remember, what was it, about a month or two ago, um I I'm sure, I don't know whether you're familiar with Spago, the Wolfgang Puck
Yeah.
place.
The old school kind of, right?
Yeah,
The old school supposed to be good, old school. And I've never actually been there, so I don't know.
I finally went there. It was on my list of restaurants I wanted to
Like
go to
from the 80s.
from the fucking 80s, man. Like, you'd hear about all these crazy stories of celebrity sightings and all this other stuff. And um I went, I had a lovely meal there. The food was delicious. The staff was very, like, like, attentive. And I
It's
walked away
Italian
thinking,
food? Is that what it is? Like I
no,
actually don't know.
it's not. Well, it used to be known for its pizza, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
actually, the pizza that probably really put it on the map was the original barbecue chicken pizza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's where it
yeah,
came from.
yeah. But then
I
the
thought it
guy,
was CPK. Wait, is that Wolfgang
no,
Puck
no,
or
the
CP?
pizza
Oh,
chef from Spago moved on to CPK.
oh,
Yeah, and brought the pizza over there. The only pizza that is now available at Spago is the smoked salmon, uh, like, pizza with the caviar and all this other shit on
oh
it.
wow. I didn't even know what that. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it's basically kind of like a bagel, but it's on a fucking pizza.
Well,
And it's all right.
gotcha.
I I
It's all right.
I had it, and I was just like, I don't need to have this again. It's I hear you. It's fucking famous as all fuck, whatever. But like, like, once you've eaten like a bagel at somewhere like Courage Bagels, you're just kind of like, all right, I've seen how high the smoked salmon mountain can go, and it's great, but I'm just not that excited about it. Have you been to Courage Bagels?
No, I haven't.
It's a trek for you. It's like,
Yeah,
not
but I
even.
went to what's it? There's a place on the west side that's equally very popular.
Hmm.
I went there and I frankly thought it was just all right.
Mm.
And I figure, I mean, people say this is better than Courage, right? That's kind of like, I've seen reviews that say that. Okay, so let's just say it's even close. I wasn't impressed enough to want to even try that again or go to Courage because I thought it was just okay.
Yeah. Well.
It tasted like a bagel
Yep.
that
Yeah.
was dressed up with salmon, with
Right.
cream cheese,
Mm-hmm.
both of which I could buy at a supermarket. I don't
Yep.
think any of that was original to them.
No.
They had capers, okay, and they have pickled red onion, right?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
something that maybe a lot of old school places don't have, pickled red onion.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what else is on there. Maybe a tomato
Olive
or
oil.
something.
Olive oil.
Yeah, and tomato, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like one of those things where I was like, okay, add all that together. What does that bagel taste like? Nothing. You can't taste the bagel, right?
Well-
So this great bagel is now equivalent to like a Trader Joe's bag of bagels, right? It's not any better because
Well,
you can't taste it.
The
You
con-
can't
the-
taste it through the salmon.
The thing about the Courage Bagels bagel is that they do a Montreal style bagel and it's a sourdough base. So the bagels don't have the density of, like a normal bagel shop bagel. They're very airy, they're kind of light. They
And
are
probably even less flavor as a result.
actually they're I'm not
So you
gonna
could taste
lie.
it with all that shit on there. You could
With
actually taste
all-
the
yeah,
bread.
because whoever is slicing their fucking smoked salmon,
They're giving
they're-
you very little, the
Yeah.
thinnest amount possible, so you can't taste it.
but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like it's
All
almost kind of worth trying. But anyways, the reason why I even
Michelin,
brought up
Michelin
fog-
star to them, and I still don't want it.
the reason why
You
I
can have
brought
a
up
Michelin star. I give you a Michelin star.
I don't even think they've got that. I
Take
think they've
it.
got I think they've got a nod on the on
You
on
could
the
take one
guide.
of those bib gourmand things. Take it.
Well, the reason why I even brought up Spago was because it is located right next door to Salt Bay's restaurant.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, and I remember like standing outside of the restaurant and looking at it, and Rachel, my girlfriend, pointing at, "Oh, that's Salt Bay's place," and there was no one in there. I think maybe like one table,
Wow.
and I was just like, "Oh, like that's gone downhill." And by then,
Wow.
when I was looking at it, it was probably like around 7:30 in the evening when it should have been like, going.
That's done. Well, I guess I read on Reddit that it closed.
Yeah, I read
So
on the news that it was closed as well, and I was
Yeah.
not like sweating anything. I really
Great effort. Great effort. You did the best you could.
apparently he treated his employees like shit, and
That's
apparently
that seems like the most regular thing about restaurants is that I hear that so much. It goes from like David Chang, right? Wasn't it said that he did the same thing?
Mhm.
A lot of these chefs are doing they do that. Is that just part of the culture?
Well, I believe that working at restaurants, no matter how you cut it, is hard work. Like
Like
especially
physical?
like physical, mental, straining, sweating, on your feet, running from like one end of the restaurant and back again, like
Yeah.
over and
Yeah.
over and over all night, which is one of the reasons why you should always tip your, you know, your wait staff, like, because or your waiter, because they are like, especially if they're attentive, if they are like, they wearily wear a smile for you, and you know you know are good about making sure that you're you know being served, then like tip them. Now
Well, how much do you tip them?
I'm a 20 to 25er, depending on
Oh,
like
wow, awesome. Yeah,
like,
didn't know. I mean, what are you supposed to tip them? 20%, right? Isn't that kind of the new number?
18 I think anywhere between 15 to 20, I think, but then
Oh,
I'll like
15 is still in the ballpark. I thought that was gone.
I still see it once in a while.
Really?
But yeah, but however, when I get to go items, no,
Yeah.
no, fuck
You don't
you.
tip at all.
No, I
You
don't.
don't. You tip zero.
I tip zero
Oh
because
wow.
or here's
I mean,
the,
what about that person running around the kitchen to create your order? They're I don't,
No,
no,
I don't think
damn.
so. You know,
Okay.
like
Hot damn. I
fucking.
guess I still do.
I mean,
I'm a
like
sucker.
that. No, you've got that giant
I'm a
robot
sucker.
money. You got that giant robot money. I
Oh
know.
my god! It says the guy who's selling those $10,000 paintings,
$10,000 paintings. You know
and
what?
and
Hey,
and,
what?
and
Hey,
all those fucking toy figures
what is
sold them all. Those toy
what
figures.
is the gallery
Those
cut again? What was the gallery cut again?
I don't know, man.
Uh, uh,
But didn't you sell a
um,
shitload of those things?
no,
You sold
no.
like a whole room full. Oh, your show was sold out. What?
2023. Do you think that money lasts that long in Los Angeles? It
I
doesn't
don't
last
know.
that
I
long,
guess if you
bro.
eating at Salt Bay and Spago and Courage Bagels, that shit's not gonna last. Of course not.
You
And
know
you're
who
tipping everybody all kinds of money and shit.
you know who
Yeah.
doesn't fucking eat at fucking any of that shit? I'll tell you who doesn't eat any of that shit. It's your boy Luke. You know, I mean, like once in a while he'll go out and like eat something like,
Wait,
you know,
you ate at
nice.
Spago?
Yeah, like once. I wanted to
I
try
never.
it.
Okay.
It was on my list of fucking things to
Probably,
try.
probably amazing. I've never been.
Yeah, damn it, lower the volume. Okay, but but like like fuck art recession right now, buddy.
Yeah, it is in
Art
general,
fucking recession. I just had a
pretty
print.
much.
I had a print release today. I released a print of my my painting Pillhead. It's like the capsule being opened
The
and
two capsules. Yeah.
lots of little bear heads dribbling out of them. A
Would you
not
say that the background is sort of looks like a heart because of the two pills?
sure
And
you
that's
could
kind of what I always thought that,
you could see that you could
right?
say that
It's
you
a
could say
two
that.
pill. It
Yeah.
looks like a heart. Yeah.
It's just it's hearts, it's finger hearts.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
is that yeah, like it was you know, I
Wait,
decided
where did you release this on? Your own
on my
website,
store on my store lukechuestore.com. That's
right? Oh, just in case you
LukeChuestore
don't
dot
know, just in
com.
case you don't
In
know.
case you don't know, in case
Yeah.
you can't read my
Yeah.
name on the bottom left hand corner. Well, actually, I don't see it on
Did
the
that
YouTube.
did that TikTok promotion help at all or no?
No. I'm
Okay.
like, I decided to like, freaking, like cut the run number in half, you know,
Like when?
like
Like
a couple hours ago.
oh wow. And
Yeah.
what did you just write that on there? Hi folks, I'm cutting the run number in half, so get
Nope.
yours now type of thing or
Nope. Didn't do anything like that. But I just quietly did it. I
oh,
quietly cut it from a run of 100 prints to 50. You
wow.
know,
Well, did you sell 50?
no,
Yeah.
no,
No.
no, not even half of that.
Wow. Our recession.
Art recession, man. I'm fucking,
Damn.
so like, yeah, I'm like,
Do you think though that because people want bigger bears on there? I hate to say,
well, here's the
because I mean
thing.
those are like little tiny bear nuggets,
Yeah,
little
but
dudes.
the
So,
amount of those fucking little bears you get is fucking like a ton. You get a ton
but no,
of fucking.
but it's like that's just like having 50 pennies versus one silver dollar. You know what I'm saying?
I also think that like because the print is a larger print, it's a
Oh yeah, it
24
was
inch,
pretty big actually.
yeah, a 24-inch by 32-inch print,
Oh
and
yeah, it's pretty
because
big.
yeah,
Hot damn, it's bigger than I thought.
and then because as such the original painting is a 3 foot by 4 foot painting. It's 36 by 48.
Oh, so you're like, I'm gonna make a print that's almost the same size.
Let's kind of well, I printed up a print that was 30 by 40, but like
That's massive.
yeah, it's massive. But
I love it.
then I looked at it and I looked at the price and I was just like, yeah, I don't think this will float. And so, I took it to, a size lower where you don't lose any of the details. And I, priced it, accordingly. And it's an expensive print. It's like $220.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I
That's a
think,
tough one, man.
yeah, it's tough. So I was like, you know what? It's going to be limited to 50, from I'm taking the limit number from 100 to 50 because I haven't like signed them yet. so I still the window of like deciding the run size is,
Damn, you
still
could just
there. So
just just change it on the fly.
change it on the fly. It's still going to cost me the same to fucking because it's a Giclée print.
Yeah.
You know, like, the cost per print is basically the same all the way
So
through.
what are you gonna do? Are you gonna make more prints then, or are you kind of just like I'm gonna chill out on prints for a while, or what is that? What does that kind of tell you to do?
Um,
Do you think it's just choice of image?
I don't know,
Like
but
like do you think it was if it were one of these other I don't know anything else it might do better,
maybe,
or do
but
you,
I don't know. Like I'm not really sure. I
yeah
could do like small prints, and
yeah
do that. And like for some reason, like I keep getting requests for the Fami Chicky
oh yeah
painting, and like I was thinking, like I've got a couple of like Japanese food related um, you know um, paintings, and I could like print them up and sell those, but yeah, whatever. Like I know that the next print that I'm thinking about doing is going to most likely be from my New York show. So
cool
which I'm working on right now. So,
awesome.
but yeah, man, art recession.
Well, I don't know, just maybe it's the print image because like it's one of those things where I saw it I was like, where's the bears? The prevailing image is the pill, the outsides of the pill, right?
Mhm.
I don't know. I was
Not enough,
thinking maybe
not enough bear for Eric. Wow.
I'm just saying I'm just talking about for everyone, including the normies out there who are just like, oh yeah, the what's that band called? The so and so guy. What is the band called? The Fallout guy.
Follow, right, the Fallout Boy.
Yeah. The Fallout Boy artist guy. Like those. They're looking. They're like, where's the bear?
Where's the bear? Not enough bear.
Oh, they're little. Not enough
Yeah,
bear.
not enough bear.
Maybe I
Yeah.
don't. It's one of those. I'm just trying to find the logic as to why
We
instead
got
of
some
just.
people listening to the live stream. Let me know what you guys think.
But what I'm saying it's just like I'm trying to find a logic to what might it be if it's not the economy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But it
it's
could be.
definitely the economy. I
Oh,
think it's definitely the economy. Like,
then didn't you know this was going to happen? If that's the case,
no, I didn't know because like
because it's the economy. You already knew, right?
I was convinced that like there was
You were bulletproof,
there was like
bulletproof,
I felt
bulletproof chew,
I felt that the Pillhead painting was a strong enough image. I thought it was one of my stronger images from that show. So,
bulletproof chew. That should be an anime.
um,
Bulletproof monk. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh,
It's all right, man.
we,
I mean, you just got to keep plugging and keep going,
yeah. The
right?
thing
I
is
mean, that's
that
just
like
simple as that, right?
I don't even know like how to like use social media anymore. Like I think one of like I've considered like promoting by paying a promotion in order to get like more eyes on my thing.
Do you think
But
that'll do it?
well, I don't know. Probably,
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, it would. You mean you're just talking about like buying ads?
Yeah,
Like put $500 into an Instagram ad and see what happens, kind of a thing.
maybe. But
Right,
like
right,
at the
right.
same time, like what I kind of hate is the fact that it says sponsored on there.
Yeah, sponsored post. Yeah,
Sponsored posts. Not a fan of that.
yeah. Whether
So
you put $1 down or a more, it just still says sponsored post, and you're like, yeah,
yeah, no, it
and you're like,
feels
oh,
yeah,
yeah.
not
That's
it,
funny. You noticed. I mean, that does bug, right?
yeah. So
Yeah, because like when I see other ones, because I've done it too for like certain things, I'll pay a little bit. I don't put that much into it though. I might put like $20,
right,
$50 at the most.
right.
But then like, yeah, every time I see somebody else with that, I'm like, oh, they paid for that, right? And that they're saying the same thing about me. They're just like, oh my god, he paid
Paid
for
for
that.
that? What the fuck?
God,
What the
what
fuck?
the fuck? You're right.
Yeah,
Literally, yes. That's kind of what I think. The first thing, it's like that. So
yeah.
that means other people are doing it to me because
Do you
I'm
watch
happily doing it.
stories? Do you actually watch Instagram stories?
A little bit. Oh, yeah, the story, yeah, a little bit, but not that much.
No, I'm
Not
not
that
a,
much, but a little bit. But
I'm,
for a while I lost TikTok because when it was being banned, I deleted it because I'm like, well, it's banned, it's over. So I deleted it, but I found out that it still worked for those who had it,
mm,
right?
mm,
So I deleted it and I couldn't re-download it because
oh,
it was banned. So I didn't have it. So then I looked at Instagram stories instead, which was basically, it felt like the same thing
yeah,
after a while, because I was like, why am I seeing these stories that I don't even know who these people are? Like
yeah,
I started running into more and more, actually not stories, sorry, reels.
right.
The reels, it's like, that's anybody. Like that's not people you follow. That could be anything,
Yeah,
right?
well, the FYP page on Instagram is just a fucking mess. Like once in a while, like I'll just get nothing but fucking like like clickbaity fucking like like I don't know, just weird like kind of somewhat like scandalous, not scandalous, but like just like near like not safe for work fucking shit, and then like sometimes I'll just get a ton of art, and I like things. I will literally go in there and just start liking an art just because I'm trying to like
Ye-
adjust the algorithm to focus on the things that I want it
yes.
to give
Yeah.
me. And it's like nope, we're going to give you a some fucking like weird fucking girls, super skinny girls fucking like doing a sexy dance today. And I'm like, I've spent the past 3 days fucking clicking nothing but fucking art stuff, and you
Right.
are still trying to like
Um,
get me to fucking look look at stuff that, I mean, like, sure, it's entertaining, I guess, but like I'm not, it's not what I'm here for.
so
So
do you think, are you talking at the same time? Because I think you need to say it. And then it goes into the speaker, and then some little minion goes, "Oh shit, he wants more art. What are we doing?"
well,
You know,
apparently
they're
the
like,
way
Dean Gojibori, shut off the porn for Luke, Dean. And then Dean's like, all right, I'll just watch it then. Jeez, I thought he liked this. And then, then it goes to, the next person's like giving you more. Maybe, or I don't know. So you think there's like that's like one of those things, it's auspicious, like they
you
could
know
hear you.
I get things. Well, first of all, it doesn't work like that. From what I understand, the way it works is it is literally about proximity with other phones. So
What?
yeah, like,
So,
so, like, you're hanging out with your buddy is really into A, B, and C, you're really into B, C, and D, and because you're hanging out with this person, they will think, person A is really in would also find subject A interesting, and the other person would find the subject D interesting
mm,
based on the way your engagements with social media.
but they
So
could tell how close you are to them.
yeah, yeah, of course. It's
Wow.
called like, like triangulation, right?
I wouldn't doubt it. That's crazy though. But yeah.
So, so maybe like, I don't know, maybe someone in my fucking in my apartment complex is, just checking out the hot Asian babes, you know, who knows? Uh,
No.
and because like they're right next to me, me but who knows, I don't know, or
Oh,
maybe
do you think it goes by your eye? Like that thing's looking at the camera's looking at your eye, and then as soon
no.
as the naked girls come, your eyes go what?
Like what
they,
like
they get all
dilate,
your eyes get
wink,
big.
sphinx,
Yeah, there's like,
my retinas just
right.
are just fucking reacting.
Yeah, they get excited. They're just like this. The thing's just looking at your eye on your camera, and the camera's just like, he loves this shit.
I think it has everything to do with the amount of time you let your phone sit on an image,
Right.
you know
So this is what you do. You're looking at the naked girls before you go to sleep, of course, and you're just like, yeah, this is the best. And then you're just scrolling. Oh, it's so good, it's so good. You know, you have a pitch tent, and you're sitting there. You're just sitting there going, yeah, and then you fall asleep, and that shit's still on.
Well, here's
right? So
well,
now the time is ticking and it's stuck on that image, and it's not stuck on art by somebody. It's stuck on some little girly thing
you
or
know,
girl thing
I
doing it.
don't
I
I
don't
don't
know.
look at Instagram that much. It feels
Well,
like work to me. So I don't really like it's actually one of the few apps that I like turn to least. I spend more
well,
time
yeah.
like looking on Facebook and TikTok
Oh
than
yeah, okay.
I do anywhere else. So
I for Facebook, it seems like I get less friends
mhm.
pages, and I see a lot of like what do you call it? Pages by like car clubs or whatever it is that are art or whatever. I'm not seeing individual friends stuff anymore.
Oh, really?
I I'm running into a lot of like stuff from other like group pages, I guess you would say.
Right,
So
right.
like I'm running I get a lot of that and less individual people on Facebook.
Mhm.
That's kind of what it's turned into.
Well,
And I don't know how that happened because I look at Facebook about once a week.
you know what they do with Instagram is they actually have a option to see only the people that you follow.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. And it's the same thing with TikTok. Like TikTok, like I have my FYP and then I have the people I follow. And then I have like in the bottom of the screen there's friends, like people that you know, follow each other with.
Right, right,
And
right.
I occasionally will look at my friends and then it's all art stuff and I get really bored and I just and I go back to my FYP. Um and yeah, and but then like that gets really depressing because the people I follow the most on TikTok are news related followers because I feel like I get like more headline-ish news sent fed to me in like digestible 1 minute like clips
Yeah.
than I do anywhere else. Like
I
shout out
agree.
to
I do too.
Aaron shout out to Aaron Parnez. Freaking that guy kills it on with headline news. And I don't know whether or not you follow him.
I don't know.
He,
I don't know who that is.
he just says like breaking news and he'll just fucking do a little like short like 1 minute video talking about like what just happened and I'm like, oh, we're fucked. you know oh my god, Elon Musk said what about Donald Trump.
I end up watching a lot too, but then once I started seeing what I think is definitely some kind of AI related like fake, like they're basically putting
Oh,
fake dialogue.
there's a ton of that, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. So I mean some of that's looking a lot better. I just the things that are being said are so preposterous. I'm thinking, okay, this is definitely fake,
yeah,
but it's kind of scary because if I didn't know about it, I would just be like, whoa, like what's this person saying, right?
right, right, yeah, like
But
there was a
now
one.
I just everything is AI to me. I'm just like I suspect everything is definitely fake. So
Well, one of
I'm always careful of
the
that.
headlines was like Target files for Chapter 11, and I was just like, what?
Right.
What? Like,
And you're
I,
like, no way.
I mean, I'm like, I don't shop at Target, but I'm not also necessarily banning it either. I'm just kind of like, there's just not a Target near me, so I'm not going to fucking shop there. And but then like there's all these headlines like, oh my god, fucking Target is losing so much money because everyone's banning it because of DEI policies and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Doesn't really affect me because I'm not shopping there. And then like, oh, Target has filed Chapter 11. They're going bankrupt. And I'm like, what? And it's all like an AI voice with clips of like Target stores and whatnot.
Mm.
And I'm just like, "Oh, okay, and then
Social
on
media is so weird.
social media is really fucking weird.
Yeah,
And
I mean the ones that there's like a news thing being said, and then they're putting images in it, but then the images sometimes have nothing to do with the news, right? Like I'm looking at it going, wait, the person they just showed walking on the street is one that's a different street than they're talking about.
Mhm,
That person is not the person they're talking about, but they're making it look like it is.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like there's so much of that stuff where I'm like, it's a filler, or
Do
and
you
I'm kind of
ever
like, oh, that's so weird, like that. I don't know if that's a human behind that or some machine that just kind of pulled it together, and just made this video clip, but it's completely fake. It's so funny. And then the other ones are the ones that are human made, where it's like a person making spaghetti, yet the dialogue is like something gnarly, or I'm like, yeah, I'm like, oh, but you've got spaghetti making in the background. It's definitely, you could tell it's definitely a rehash video, but it's just weird. I'm like, oh, that's a weird choice.
Do you ever watch? Are you familiar with Steve Lookner?
No, I don't know who
He's
that is.
a Twitter guy. He's a Twitter news dude, and
Uh-huh.
he's like the only guy that I have notifications sent to me.
How do
For
you spell his name? Or how do you, about, like,
Lookner,
Lookner?
Lookner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he does a YouTube stream called Agenda Free News. I actually learned about him through Chet Zar, friend of the show. He was
Oh, yeah.
a guest from a long time ago, and he mentioned him, and so I started like watching him, and he would like do these like hours long newscasts. So talking about like whatever like huge breaking news was happening,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, so I started following him on Twitter, and he's the only reason why I bother keeping my Twitter account. Um, is to like get his notifications that way.
Oh, wow.
Like, if something like crazy happens, like I'll hear about it. Like when that like Palm Springs bombing, fertility
Yeah.
clinic bombing
Mm, yeah.
happened, I learned about it through him first. Whenever there's
Wow.
like some crazy act of violence happening somewhere around the world, I hear about it from him first.
Does he go live and do it too? Or
Yes,
does he?
he
Oh,
goes
wow.
live. So
Okay. And you said agenda free news, not gender free news,
no,
right?
agenda free news.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was like, gender free news. I was like, oh,
Yes,
lots of story.
yes,
I guess
yes.
there's a lot of stories there, but
He's gender fluid like crazy. But,
gotcha. Or gender
yeah.
free, maybe. It's
Oh,
fluid and free.
well,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
No, just
Awesome.
agenda
I'll have
free.
to check it out.
So, but yeah, fucking, Salt Bay, he's gone. Luke Chu cutting print runs. People flocking to Giant Robot to
Oh,
go see.
well, but then, yeah, there's been other shows that are crickets, so it all evens out. I did get finally, so I realized that, yeah, the tariffs are real, right? So
Yes.
I, it doesn't say tariff ever anywhere. Basically, you get a bill from UPS while they're delivering, and they says, well, after you give us a check, we'll give you your package. You know, so
Oh,
basically,
really?
I write a check. Yeah, and I forgot what it says, but it does not say the word tariff. But then I realized I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, it's the tariff.
What are you buying from, those freedom
Oh,
hating Chinamen in fucking China?
like stickers, for example.
Oh, they hate
Oh,
they,
stickers.
they 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 hate our American freedom, Eric.
China does.
Apparently.
Oh, but they I guess they don't hate the money. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I paid a tariff like yesterday
Wow.
to get stickers. Yeah.
Damn.
So I mean, like all things, there's going to be tons of ways to circumvent things.
Yeah.
I think my check was 40 something dollars, but
Okay. So
yeah, but it sounds little, but that's because if you make, I mean, here's hypothetical. Let's say you make $1,000 worth of stickers.
yeah,
Ask your rep, hey, can you put $100
right.
on there,
Yeah,
please, or
yeah.
120
It's
bucks,
against
please?
it's against the law, but they
Is it?
will. Yeah. Oh, it's totally against the law. I'm
Oh,
actually
why?
surprised because it's you're fudging with like the amount of the value of product coming into the country.
Oh
So
no.
you
But
know
it's actually that's what it's really worth. What if I overpaid?
well maybe.
I mean, I think I'm overpaying, and that's really what it's worth.
Wait, so
And then I paid
are you
tariffs.
saying
I paid tariffs on that.
you
But
know
I feel like maybe that's okay
why aren't you
in
buying
that way.
from American sticker dealers like Sticker Guy,
You mean like Sticker Mule, the one that
Sticker
everyone
Mule? Yeah.
aren't they like? Did you read about Sticker
Oh,
Mule?
I
Aren't
know,
they
I know. They're
ladies?
totally mega, right?
Or so yeah, I figure I'll go to opposite of MAGA, which is China.
I actually do like whenever I get because I get their text messages. for like, oh, right, flash sale, fucking get 50, hologram stickers for $20. I'll be like, oh, okay. And and they're all like that shitty, like they're super thick. They don't have that papery, like, or that thin, like screen printed quality that you kind of like would love to have on stickers. Like you feel like if you just like thumb the edge of the sticker enough, you'll peel off the laminate and then like,
Oh,
kind of stickers. Yeah, I hate, they're too thick. I'm not a fan of them, but like, it's fun to like, buy some and then throw them into the boxes of orders and stuff like that. So
yeah. But yeah, tariffs, they're a thing. I
there,
mean,
yeah.
I'm finally running into them.
But
It's weird though because for a while, I don't quite understand, but some of the things I've made in China, they told me, "Oh yeah, you won't have tariffs," and I'm like, "I won't," and then they said, "No, no, you won't," and then sure enough, there are a lot of things where I didn't have any tariffs,
mm,
and
I,
I didn't quite understand. I was like, "Why don't I have a tariff on this like everyone else does?" And they said, "Oh, you won't have a tariff," and I'm
mm,
like, "What did you do?" Because I paid, like I didn't. I paid, and then they said that no, you won't have a tariff on this. I'm like, really?
because Trump got rid of the de minimis. Um,
What the
uh,
fuck's that?
the de
What's it?
minimis. So like when you purchase something under the like $800
Uh
from
huh.
Japan, or like you order something direct from international countries, there is a de minimis where like if you pay,
Vocabulary word, everybody.
yeah,
Duniminis. I don't even know what the heck.
DE space MINI
Oh, there's this.
MIS. Yeah, de minimis.
Oh, wow. I don't even know what this means. This is great.
Eh,
De minimis. It's like,
Yeah,
think mini me, right?
yeah,
D mini me's, right?
yeah,
That's kind
yeah.
of basically what it says.
Yes,
Is a Latin phrase meaning of minimum importance
right.
or trifling. In legal economic context, it refers to something so small or insignificant that it is disregarded or exempted. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So like if
I've
you order
never heard of
something
that.
from Japan, yeah, if
So
you order
mini me.
something under 800, yeah, if you
Go
order
ahead.
something
Sorry.
from like Asia or somewhere like that, as long as your order is under within the de minimis, you don't get charged a tax or a tariff or anything like that.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
with China, they like as of like May or something like that, they removed the de minimis. So
It's
everything,
anything.
even anything and everything from from like 5 cents on up, or like
Wow.
a penny on up, it gets
Wow.
charged a tariff. Specifically, China and Hong Kong.
Wow.
There are threatening tariffs on Japan right now, but like he he allowed the de minimis to set back in. So you know
Wow.
yeah, it's a problem. And right now we're all kind of waiting for the courts to decide whether or not Trump's
Yeah.
um tariffs are legal or not.
So meanwhile, they still collect the tariffs while they're waiting. Is that what's still
Yeah,
going on?
he you know is fighting
The courts.
the
Yeah.
courts on, and they reinstated
Oh, it
the
was like same day. It was the
yeah.
other day, and it was the same day. So that said, let's just say they all the tariffs get removed or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Do you get your money back? Can you apply to get your money back that you actually gave to the government? I guess
I think the
because
thing is
you
that
know,
if it's ruled as unconstitutional, then yes, I think you can,
right?
because these taxes are, yeah, they're not, they're not constitutional. So
And you get your money
you
back,
probably
or
can.
they're just like, oh, bro, sorry, you just did it in the window of time. We get to keep it. Thank you much. Fuck you very much. I don't know.
They're going to try that. I mean,
Yeah.
without a doubt. But the thing is that save all your receipts. That way, like you can like
Oh, for my $100 stickers.
yeah, for your $100 stickers. You paid, if you paid $40 tariff for your $100 stickers, then you should get your $40 back.
I want my shit back. So that leads. So this was a question that I've had. Is this is kind of like this kind of starts kind of at Candy Bolton, right? Maybe
Oh,
Candy
yeah,
Bolton,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like early on. I almost feel like it was like March or February. She paid
Mhm.
a tariff. Do you think all of that is legit, or do you think that was somebody somewhere ripping her off? For example,
No,
in her
I
in
think it
her
was
case, because
legit because
it was so early.
she was getting her whatchamacallit, because she did an order for plush, and like the thing is that it takes a long time for, freight to be shipped across the
Oh
ocean.
yeah,
You
takes
know,
like months. It takes months, but
a
that
month.
means yeah. Oh, so you're saying she shipped it maybe in December and it showed up in February and she got
Yep.
tariffed on that?
Yeah, and
So
the tariffs
because
got instated, and she
gotcha,
got caught in that. And the
that
thing is
sucks.
that like I think, and she went viral for that on
Yeah,
Threads,
I know.
and it was
I know, and that, but
crazy. Like
I can't remember what her paperwork looked like on that, but I mean,
she wasn't
mine was a
very.
charge.
Yeah,
Mine was a charge from UPS though. Like it doesn't say U.S. government. It is just UPS takes the money, right?
right,
And that's was considered the tariff because I
right.
looked it up and I'm like, oh, that's the tariff. I thought it would be like a government fucking asking for it somewhere. I didn't realize it's the
Oh.
shipping company's going to just be like, hey, kick us down more cash. In which case, can't they just go, oh, you owe $42, but we're going to make it 52 because we're going to take that extra $10.
I think
Like,
she got like. I
can't
think
they
she got
easily just,
the bill from. I think she got the bill from UPS, who probably handled.
was it just, oh, was it you? I couldn't remember if it
Yeah.
was something like that. I just can't, I just can't tell. One of the things I paid once, so I guess it was a tariff. I had to pay a little extra shipping rate to China,
Mm.
and I'm like, so like, but I have no proof, right? It's like they're just like, please send us more money, and I was like, you fuckers, okay, But it was like there's no UPS bill or anything, and I was just like, you guys, I just don't know when it's legit or not because it just seems so like, like it seems so
Yeah,
random.
you would think that you'd get like a tax bill from the IRS or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
something where you can have a better proof that this isn't a shipping bill. This is actually a tariff bill.
So
But
does that
I can't
mean?
tell the difference. It
So
looks it's still a UPS bill.
here's the question though. The question is, are you going to raise the prices on your stickers?
No,
No, you're going to swallow
no.
the tariff.
Yeah, I'm gonna absorb it because I'm that guy. I can do it.
Wow.
It's just so little. I mean, what I'm gonna. It's so little compared to what it is. So it's like no. I
Mm,
mean, what I could raise the stickers by a dime, or 10 cents or something. It's like no, at that rate, I'm not gonna do it.
right, right,
No. Plus, man, I mean, the prices are low to begin with,
right.
frankly. So it's like I'm good as it is. Like it's only greed that would make me want to do that, and it's like I don't want to do that.
Mm.
Like it's not necessary. I don't have to.
Well, the thing is, you're not.
I
You're
could
also
pay.
not.
I could afford $40-something on
Yeah,
that tariff. It's okay.
yeah.
And I got like how many stickers did I get? 3,500 stickers or some shit like that or
Oh,
some
okay.
number.
Right.
I mean, but don't forget, they lowered the amount,
Yeah.
so I only had to pay a $40-something tariff, and not. It would have been a lot more had they not.
Are we going to
They
post?
fudged the numbers.
Are we going to post this on for in the archives? Probably shouldn't.
Why?
Because if the U.S. government catches wind that you're fucking doing this shit, they can.
Dude, they're doing this for everybody. Everybody out there, pins, stickers, all your shits. We know all of you are getting some kind of deal probably because as soon as I mentioned it, I go, "Hey, can you just lower it?" They're like, "Of course we can. Of course." And they're just like waiting for me to ask. Once
Oh,
I asked, they said, "No problem." Like
right,
it was
right,
all
right,
easy. Like I'm
right.
not
It's
the
like
first
it's like
person. I'm not the first and only. They're doing this a lot.
you're the
This is
guy
no
who held the gun to their head, demanding
I'm
that
the
they
guy.
lower.
I'm the guy that is just telling it how it is. It's not a secret. It shouldn't be a secret. I mean, come on. They're all doing this.
Yeah, I'm looking for. Do you know any good plush companies?
No, I know a
No.
shitty one.
Oh,
I know a
really?
shitty one that'll make your plush look really stupid.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanna. I wanna
You want
do.
you want an extra appendage or a big ass forehead on your your bear, or what? Do you want anything weird like that? These guys will do it by accident.
Chat, if you want, if you guys know of any like or anyone
I
who's
don't
listening,
know.
is if you guys know any like good plush companies, reach out to me at lukechew@gmail.com. And
I'm sure there's people out there.
I'm very much interested in like following the Pop Mart trend of doing a small like 5-inch plush that can like has a hook that you could like attach to your bag, so you could like have it hang out with your labubu. And
Yeah, and are you going to ask them to ship at a lower price than it costs to actually make?
maybe.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay,
Yes, you are.
if you say so.
Yeah,
If you say so.
one tenth ratio.
Yeah, I mean like, that would be like an ideal situation, but um I we'll see. We'll see.
Or are they going to do something where they ship it to their buddy in Vietnam or wherever it is, and then they ship it, and then just like, oh, sorry, no tariff, zero.
So yeah,
I
well,
mean, there's all these things that they're
like yeah,
doing now. They're
there's a
just
lot of
like,
workaround here. Well, or actually, it's not that you're not paying a tariff. You're still paying a tariff. Like that's $40 extra that you did not plan on spending,
correct,
for these
correct.
stickers. So no matter what, you're paying something. You're just paying the absolute minimum that you could be able to get away
Yeah,
with.
yeah. But I'm saying is, what if you had them ship it to somewhere else, which you have to pay more shipping, maybe?
Right. So no
But I'm
matter
sure.
what,
I think they're already working on this kind of shit though. They're trying to like,
yeah, of
they're
course.
finding, yeah, they're finding ways where they ship a whole container to this place and then they ship it to you, and it's like no tariff. The
Yeah.
only tariff might be that extra reship, if at all.
Right.
But
Right.
I think I think they're already thinking of. I mean, I know they're already doing that stuff. So
But like even then, like shipping like a pallet's worth of fucking product is like I don't know, like have you like when I did the low fidelity figure, I had 3 pallets of product
wow, that's a lot.
shipped to me. It cost
Wow.
like a stupid amount of money to ship, like probably fucking like I don't know, 3 grand, something like that.
Yeah.
And
Was it by ocean, like
it was
surface?
by surface. And
Yeah.
on that, like on top of like the amount of money that I spend on the production of it.
I just don't get it sometimes. So I know you've bought stuff on eBay, and let's say you buy it on eBay and it's like from China and it's like cheap, and it's free shipping.
Mm-hmm.
How do they do it?
I don't know.
I mean, I've bought stuff from China, literally that's 99 cents, and it's free shipping from China.
Wow.
And I'm like, how is this happening? And sure enough, it comes. It does show up. And I'm like, whoa, it was free shipping.
Yeah.
I don't understand like how that even happens, and that happens, right? It's like
It's they're
I
probably
and then yet you get charged $3,000 for like something, right? And it's like, how are they shipping stuff like for free, like literally?
well,
I
it
don't get it.
probably has a lot to do with like some weird kind of balancing act of like items that they are have to charge for shipping for, and
Right.
offsetting the tons of little things that they're selling with no
Yeah,
shipping.
I
Like,
just don't understand that. Like,
or for instance, like I work with the company that prints my prints on shipping artwork internationally.
yeah,
And
right.
the thing is that like a box of paintings that would cost me $1,200, let's say like, yeah, like 500, like was it 500? It was a stupid amount of money. It was probably like freaking like $300 to ship, to
The
Australia.
art,
Yeah, the art of
right?
art cost me $75 to ship with them,
Oh, so wait, how's that? Oh, because they had some discount.
because yeah, they work with FedEx and they're
Yeah.
constantly
Wait,
shipping.
how long ago was that?
This was the
Like
show was
recently?
in November,
Oh
so
wow, so they could still do. I don't understand. So we used to have there was oh man, like so this was a tip I think it's gone, and I'm sure there's another way to do it. But FedEx used to have a thing. Oh, I forgot what it was called, man. For shipping international, they had days where they would consolidate, like let's say Tuesday and Friday was shipping to Japan discount day,
Right.
or like you ship it to Hong Kong and that's Wednesday and Friday, and Spain is they would have days of the week that would be in so much cheaper
Mm,
for you to ship if you scheduled it on those days to ship on those days.
right.
And that was like a key thing to do. So we used to always take advantage of that. They stopped doing that, but I'm
Mm,
sure there's new programs where they kind of have other tricks. I don't know what there was a word for it, and I don't remember what it was called. It was called Great Rates.
mm.
FedEx Great Rates. It's gone now. But
Well,
then
you know,
I bet you there's other shit just like that where you're like, because fucking a plane of packages got to go anyway.
right.
You might as well throw this extra one on for like, a quarter of the price, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Or else I'm going to ship it by USPS
Sure.
and you're not going to get any money, right? So,
Well, that's the thing. Like I know with like SAG Medium, they get the FedEx truck shows up to their place twice a day. So
yeah,
they're like dealing with a
a
ton
lot of
of
FedEx.
shipping.
Yeah.
So
But still, it's like crazy how the rates can be like so
fluctuate
crazy like
all
that.
over the
I know.
place. Yeah.
I know, like for you, it's this much. For them, it's because of volume. It's that much, and
Hmm.
it's crazy amounts how much difference it is.
Well, like if I'm only shipping product like once every fucking like 5 months, like yeah, of course, I'm paying extra just to have access to the service.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
like all these other companies are relying on them, and in turn, FedEx is relying on them for their consistency.
yeah.
So
But that's why like those like for people who ship stuff, like you ever heard of Pirate Ship,
oh yeah, I use
right?
pirate ship.
So it's the same thing. They get a discount and they pass on savings to you of some sort,
Hmm.
and you might ship a lot less, but they get volume because so many people ship, and then they probably take a like whatever percentage of it for themselves, and that's how they stay in business, right? But
Well,
it's the same thing. They're just like consolidating. It's like they're like basically like one bigger static medium, right? That
well,
except it's what I mean,
I remember when I was publishing my zine, and I had like a mailbox, etc. box
right?
where I was having all my packages shipped to sent to, and because I had an account there, I had this like one day where I was shipping out like 40 envelopes of zines to all the PR companies and record labels that I was working with, and they took the stack and they just fucking said, "All right, bulk mail." Like
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have access to bulk mail, but because that company deals, like regularly with USPS, UPS, and FedEx, they are able to.
I believe, yeah, you need to have a bulk mail license or something like that to do it.
Right.
Yeah, and hence for this giant robot subscriptions, same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, it would go through bulk mail and it would be cheaper, and a company would just it's like a mailbox, etc. type of thing.
Hmm.
I would just take it there, give them the magazines, give them the envelopes, give them the labels, and they would just be like, okay, we got it.
Yeah.
The rest, and it would still be cheaper than me trying to ship them one by one.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the benefits of actually using like a mailbox service is that you might have access to those things. So
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
yeah. And that
Artists out there, this is how you save money. Well,
well,
but you got to do some due diligence and figure it out, because the FedEx thing, for example, I think it's has a different name now, or it's gone, but it was anyone could had access to that. You just had to know about it.
right. Right.
It wasn't like, yeah, it was like you just had to know, and you had to call somebody and go, hey, hey, can I get a package on for tomorrow?
Hmm.
And they'll be like, okay, you got to call us at this time, blah blah blah, and then have the package ready. And then it was like you have to schedule it 1 day or 2 days ahead or something, and they'll,
Hmm.
it was just like a little bit of preparation to save a lot of money.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it was.
Yeah. No, it's who you know, how you know them,
I
what
hate
kind
to
of
say,
service, yeah, what
but
kind
it's
of
just like
service
a
they
little bit
have.
of research might pay off, right? And sometimes it's just, I hate to say, like so many things for Giant Robot, one Google search, and I was like, That's how you do it. And that's how I'm going to save a ton of money.
Well, that's
And literally it works. And then the next person's like, how did you do it?
yeah.
And I'm like, I just Googled it once and I got the answer. And you're asking me and I'll tell you, but you really just could have Googled it.
Well,
And,
it's like the
and it
fucking
happens a lot.
the Adobe hack, the Adobe, thing. Like I don't know
Oh, I don't know anything about that. Nope.
what.
They might be listening. Adobe might be listening. Be careful.
This was on Reddit, man. This is on
I'm
Reddit.
joking. I'm joking. I do it too, and I tell everyone to do it, and they don't do it.
Yeah, you fucking like you go in there and you fucking cancel your Adobe account. And they're like, hey, oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
It's not with a human being. This is just you online.
Yep.
This doesn't require talking to anybody on the phone. This is like a 2-minute process that you just go through, and then you could save yourself.
Yeah.
Is it like $30 a month or $40 a month?
You save about $30 to $40 a month,
right?
Fucking
right,
doing
right,
this, yeah,
right,
just fucking threatening to fucking like to close the account, and they're like, hey, you know what? Look, yes, I could see why you can't afford the $88 a month for this package, but how about $54?
I believe it's $29.99. Frankly, isn't it?
I need to look.
The Adobe Suite, I believe, is $29.99 with that cancellation, with the retention offer.
I might have to try and cancel. I might have to cancel again, I guess.
I believe it is $29.99 is what I pay, and I have the full suite.
Well, it's like the song and dance that you do with your fucking your internet provider and your cable provider. Like I do this every fucking year, and like finally, like the last time I had to do it, I just kind of I called up Spectrum. And they're like, hey, how can we help you? And I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm Luke. Here's my account number. And we're at this point, and I'm saying, like, look, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to threaten to cancel my account. You're going to offer me a better deal. And then I'm going to take that deal and we're going to move on with our lives. And the guy on the phone laughed. the guy on the phone,
wow.
The guy over the phone laughed, and he's like, yeah, I get it. And
wow, and that was it.
And that was it. And he offered me a better deal, and
I love that.
And because how many fucking calls does this guy get every fucking day about this?
But maybe he wants to talk to you longer because of your great candor that you just
Oh, well,
he's gonna talk to somebody else who's gonna be like, but I can't do it, and and it's like, but he could have had a great conversation about like pizza or something.
We continue the conversation a little bit, but they're usually like out in like Milwaukee or somewhere like that, or
So he wants to hear about bright lights in big city of Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, he wants to hear about like the great the great Smashburger wars of Los Angeles.
The pizza battle, coffee. He wants to know all about all this.
Wait,
you are the gatekeeper of that information. But instead, you just gave him this ultimatum, and he was like, "Okay, I'm going to give you the deal. Bye." And you're just like, you're like, "Yay me!" And for him, he's like, "God damn it, I got to." No,
it's what? It's another fucking person he doesn't have to fucking deal with. Like
But then maybe he wanted, but you got to laugh out of him. Maybe he wanted to talk more, man.
No, man.
He wanted life tips.
When your fucking job is to fucking like sit there and talk to fucking people all day long, the last thing you want to do is fucking talk to a jackass like me. So.
Yeah, I guess they don't have a sense. Maybe they don't have that sense of humor going on.
Look, when you're fucking when your job is yucking it up all day and all evening. You know what you want you want a moment of silence. You want the quiet. Don't you, Eric?
Damn. Yeah, I understand. I get it, but I mean,
like how many people like they go to a giant robot. I'm like, oh my god, it's Eric Nakamura, and they get really nervous. And they walk around the gallery a little bit, and then they fucking come to the counter. And
yeah, and all of a sudden I'll check. They'll buy stuff. Let's say a small amount, whatever, and I charge them for it. And then as they're walking out, they're like, hey, bye, Eric, or something, and I'm like, well, you knew my name the whole time, but they just said it while they're walking out the door. I'm like, oh, that was weird.
Yep. Yeah. You know what I hate? I hate the people who think that like being cool about like whether or not they like your work or not is like the way to go. It's like, look, man, like I am not like bothered by people who enjoy what I do.
No, yeah, no, that's like
No.
the greatest honor ever.
Yeah,
I'm always like,
exactly.
thank you very much for digging my history past and whatever it is, you
Right.
know.
Right. Like when I was in Japan,
Oh, it's
I was
rad.
talking to this guy who does Safubi, and it wasn't until like half an hour later that that he like kind of finally goes like, yeah, one of the first like designer toys I ever bought was yours, and blah blah blah, this and that.
Whoa.
And I was just
Yeah.
like, you could have just told me. And like it wouldn't have made anything awkward. It wouldn't have made anything weird. I've been really grateful. I wouldn't have had to sit there and try and explain to you what I do, which is
Was he like, oh God, that's so weird.
because there's a division between the Safubi people and the designer toy people. You know, like
There is?
oh, oh yeah, absolutely. Like,
What?
yeah, like the Safubi people are like, adamantly, I'm a Safubi person. And then like the designer toy people, like, kind of slut it up, and go like, oh, I pick up some Safubi here and I, buy a fucking Pop Mart thing here or there and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, wow. I see.
Yeah, but like
So
Safubi
Sofubi, you
people,
have Tunnel Vision, Sofubi, and then there's designer toys that just dabble all over the place.
yep, yeah, the designer toy people are the sluts of the toy world, and fucking
Oh,
Safubi people
damn.
are like fucking like weebs.
You
They
know what?
only.
I didn't know that there was such a division like that.
I
Okay.
could be wrong. I could be wrong, but it feels like that.
Huh.
So
Well, Candy Bolton would know the answer,
yes,
maybe.
maybe. Yeah.
Maybe, or would it be somebody on the other side of that who is a designer toy person that doesn't do Sofubi that kind of can say, yeah,
Well,
that happens.
I think
Though
there are designer toy people who don't buy Safubi, but the thing is because it's just like like oh, what was that fucking there used to be a message board group called like
oh,
Brain Rot or some shit like that.
oh, I forgot. Man, what is it? Anybody know at home? Oh, what was that called?
Like
Oh, dude. Was the word brain in it? Now
I
that you say that.
I don't know. I think there's the word brain is in there, but like
Oh
yeah,
man.
like that. It was like from what I understand, one of the most
Oh, I
toxic.
forgot. What was that? What was that? Not lizard brain. It was I
Gee,
think the word brain was in it.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, but it was a super toxic message board
yeah.
group, and
Was that basically a Kid Robot page? No, no. It wasn't a Kid Robot page. It was just its own thing, right?
right, yeah, yeah,
Oh, what was they called? God damn it. Anyway, okay.
yeah,
Whatever it was called.
yeah, yeah. It was well, it was a group, and from my understanding, it was
I
super
remember.
toxic, and like I remember hearing it. I never joined it. I never fucking like dabbled in it, but I know like Candy Bolton was in there, and a lot of
Yeah, I
other
just forgot what it was called, but yeah.
Safubi people were in there, and like from what I understand, like there's a lot of buying, trading, and discussion of the art form known as Japanese vinyl, Safubi, and
Right.
and whew, it was divisive. There were like Japanese vinyl purists there, even though like all the
Wow.
Japanese designers were fucking like going to China because what's the point of fucking waiting a year and a half in line in the queue at a fucking Japanese Safubi
Sure.
factory?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you know yeah,
Hot damn.
yeah, yeah. That's and yeah, that's what gave me the impression that like, oh, the Safubi people are the Safubi
Wow.
people, and
Wow,
design
wow, wow.
designer toy people are just you know a little bit more loosey goosey with things. But like it's just I mean I think the same thing happened with like like the Funko Pop thing, right? Like Funko Pops when they were hot, like people that collected exclusively Funko Pops. But then of course you'd have like a small like offshoot of them that would like kind of like dig deeper and discover this entire like network of like toy artists, and toy customizers and whatever, and fall into that.
Mm.
Mm.
Hot
Anyways,
damn.
guys, it's been an hour. It's been an
Oh, the Robot Power Hour is over?
over Robot Power Hour. I
Oh,
think we should like rename our podcast to robot power hour.
All right, everybody. This was a wonderful podcast again. We talked about random. We didn't really have a good plan today, as usual. However, it did span. What was it mostly? Like we talked about shipping, tariffs, art recession,
Salt Bay.
Oh yeah, and Spago
and Spago and Salt Bay. Yeah, that was a good one.
Awesome.
We hit some pretty good taxes, art culture, and food. There it is.
Shipping. Shipping. Yep. Yeah, things you got to know. Okay.
Things you got to know.
Sayonara, Luke. Sayonara, people.
Bye, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in.
And thank you, Thailand, for putting us always in your somehow podcast. I don't know how it's happening, but for some reason we get in the Thailand list of art podcasts. So
we still do. That's pretty great.
I think so. I haven't checked lately, but I'm sure we do because whoever you Thais are, I thank you.
We love the Thais.
Appreciate it.
We love you, Thailand.
The Thais. Yes. Thank you. Yep. All right.